Secretary of State Antony Blinken returned to the Middle East Friday as the war between Israel and Hamas enters its fourth month. His trip comes as the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said last weekend that the conflict will continue for, quote, many more months. This comes as Gaza's Hamas-run Ministry of Health says the Palestinian death toll has reached 22,000, far exceeding the number of Israelis killed since the war began. For more, let's bring in Graeme Wood. He's a staff writer at The Atlantic and the author of The Way of Strangers, Encounters with the Islamic State. Graeme, has the war increased the likelihood that Benjamin Netanyahu stays in power?
I don't think it's increased the likelihood that he stays in power, but it's made many people wonder how to possibly get rid of him. I mean, Netanyahu had been in power in part because he had said he was a security prime minister. He was bringing security. And he was a controversial figure. The fact that he did not bring security and this catastrophic occurrence happened under his watch has made other people look for others who might be able to say more credibly that they could bring security. They just can't find anybody who is on the Israeli right, which is a very popular movement still, and who is considered a safe figure to represent Israel to the world. So there's a lot of people who are looking for alternatives to Netanyahu and really coming up short, which means that he could stay in power, even having presided over such a fiasco.
And for some context, how unpopular was he before the October 7th attack?
He was very polarizing, a very controversial figure. And then after the attack, it was kind of incredible. I've been in Israel for most of the time since the attack. Incredible to see how unpopular he was as a wartime prime minister at that. You could find people who were on the right and who were very big fans of him before the attack, who after the attack would say, look, what's the whole point of Israel if you can't keep us safe from pogroms? That's why Israel exists. And the fact that the government run by Benjamin Netanyahu allowed this to happen means there has to be a whole clearing of house. Netanyahu himself has made the case to voters and to his party that he should continue to lead the party even after the war. And as I say, there's a lot of people who are wondering who are the alternatives. He's hollowed out the coalition that he leads, has gotten rid of a lot of people who would be potential rivals to his leadership, and has left behind a lot of ideologues, a lot of very inexperienced people, and frankly, a lot of incompetence, which means he's at the head and irreplaceable as the leader of that coalition.
So what do you think 2024 holds for the Israeli government and the Israeli people?
So the Israeli people, of course, are focused on Gaza. The world very reasonably is focused on Gaza. The number of deaths there, particularly on the Palestinian side, is a galvanizing topic, and the existence of these hostages, so many of whom are still there. What I think everybody needs to focus on more, and the smart people who are looking ahead are focusing on, is the regional possibilities for this war. I mean, what starts in Gaza doesn't end in Gaza, quite possibly. There's Hezbollah in the north. There's the West Bank, which Israel is desperately trying to keep from adding to the list of problems. And then, of course, there's all the types of regional escalations that could happen at the hands of Tehran. So all of this is probably what we're going to be looking for in 2024, is the possibility, possibly the actuality of that expansion.
And in the final few seconds, what are the indicators that you'll be watching that suggests that we could be heading into a wider conflict this year?
Looking at the Iranian proxies, I mean, it's Hezbollah in the north, it's the Houthis from Yemen, and also some militias in Iraq, who are testing Israel and its allies, trying to figure out what they can take. We want to find out whether they want to turn this from a local war into a regional one, as I think Hamas would like.
Graeme Wood, thank you for your reporting and analysis.
Thank you.